Hi, quick video for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. As you can see, on another industrial estate in Devon, on my sanctioned 9 to 5 break. Woohoo! So, today I want a quick video out there about the pending doom and gloom that will be the tax hikes coming from April the 6th. Obviously, we all know some of them have been well documented, some of them less so. So let's get into it. So, in a nutshell, there is a rate increase, obviously, for employers' national insurance, otherwise known as NICS, from the 6th of April 2025. And this will affect jobs across the board. It's going to affect what employers are willing to pay staff. It's going to affect how many staff employers are willing to employ. It will even cause layoffs. So basically, the NICs are rising from 13.8 to 15%. And at the same time as a rate increase, there's also a threshold reduction from £9,100 to just £5,000 per year. So that means that they pay the higher rate that's coming in off the back of a lower threshold. So that really does tuck employers up in a big way. Another one that's coming in that you may not know about is basically stamp duty land tax, otherwise known as SDLT. So there's a zero tax threshold now applies for properties up to £300,000, which is great. There's a 5% rate which is going to be charged on anything between 300k and up to £500,000. There's no qualification on anything over £500,000 for first-time buyers. But to be fair, if you can afford a property worth £500,000 as a first-time buyer, then yeah, you probably aren't going to quibble over a little bit of stamp duty, are you? There is also a taxation of non-UK domiciled individuals. So these are basically people that are taking advantage of tax based on residence. So new arrivals in the UK that have got a non-tax residence status, they basically get 100% relief on foreign income and gains, but only for the first 4 years that they're in the UK. So there are a few reasons behind these tax hikes. Obviously, a lot of it is cash grab. That's you'd be mental if you thought otherwise. Obviously, the government's trying to bolster public finances to support essential services. They're basically trying to save the NHS, allegedly, and chuck huge amounts of funding into social care and other such projects. Also, public debt, funding gaps, these all pretty much necessitate higher tax revenues. The Office for Fiscal Responsibility, they've downgraded our growth forecast for the UK. We're going to be lucky to be over 1%, basically. There is going to be a massive impact on things like home buyers and businesses. Obviously, as I said, from a business point of view, businesses are going to be less inclined to take on new employees. They're going to be less inclined to promote and therefore pay additionally to current employees, and they may even end up laying massive numbers of people off. This won't affect any industry in particular. It'll be across the board, white collar, blue collar, specialist. I don't really think that any industry or any sector is safe from this. It's going to be tough times. It is going to be tough times ahead. It's also obviously going to affect the property market. Now, although they've, if you like, increased the allowance before you have to pay your stamp duty, I think it was about 260 or 270, so it's gone up. Who can afford that? Let's be real. There are so few properties out there that people can afford. People aren't able to get mortgages. They haven't got the 60 or 70 or 80,000 pounds required to put down a 20% deposit. So unless they're going to bring back 5% mortgages, unless that's going to be a thing that's coming in that we've not been alerted to, I don't see how the stamp duty increase or the rate increase is really going to help people. It makes no sense. It seems like it's offering something that they know that people aren't really going to be able to readily take advantage of. and that's a bit ridiculous, of course. It doesn't serve anything. It doesn't serve any real purpose. I mean, what can you do? What can we do to mitigate the impact of this? Obviously, more than ever, if you've got savings, and that's a massive if, you've got to try and be tax efficient with them, whether it's things like putting your money in ISAs so that you're not paying tax on the interest, or just financial planning. Get yourself a financial advisor. They might be able to give you some idea as to how you can do increased pension contributions that come out of your wages prior to tax to get that relief, or even charitable donations if that's your thing. For businesses, they're definitely going to be trying to indulge in operational efficiency, I guess, for want of a better expression. They're going to be looking at streamlining all of their processes, reducing their overheads, and anything they can to offset that tax burden. And obviously tax planning as well. I've no doubt that businesses will be getting in tax professionals to identify further eligibility, perhaps for relief, where it can be taken up. As far as what everybody's take on this is, I mean, what do you think about all of this? How are the rates and the hikes going to affect you? I know for myself, I am looking at spending probably about another 3 years in my current property, and then my aim is literally to sell it and to move abroad, and I'm pretty set on that. I'm 95% sure that I'm going to be leaving the UK in the next 3 to 5 years, hopefully the next 3 years. But what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. What plans have you got to shield yourself against tax hikes, to shield yourself against uncertainty in employment? If you're an employer, how is this affecting your business? I mean, are you being forced into a position where you're going to have to regretfully make layoffs that you otherwise wish you didn't have to do in order to keep your business afloat and in order to afford the staff that you're left with? Really interested to find out. As always, I've done a load of research, got a load of questions, and yeah, I've come to YouTube. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into the comments and see what people think. YouTube's going to stick another video up there. Maybe have a look, maybe don't. It's entirely up to you. If you do, like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz, and there'll be another video tomorrow. Goldman, peace out.